Hello, Libra. I'm thinking, no, I guess it is the way it's supposed to be. It looks like it's cockeyed. Hopefully I'm not crooked. Maybe I'm crazy. That happens. Thank you for tuning in. This is your April 1st to 15th, 2017 read. For the main read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. I always screw up one part or another of that. For the support cards, the Romance Angel cards by Doreen Virtue. Okay. As usual, I have shuffled the cards. Okay. Now, what side are we going here? Seems like we have a flip of the coin going on here, and I'm not really... Okay. Overall energy here is the Four of Wands reversed. This is what it looks like right side up. This is how it looks upside down, of course. A peaceful resolution of relationships is kind of what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling like something socially is kind of breaking down. You're kind of caught up in something, and you're trying to be the peacemaker as much as possible. I'm kind of feeling like the other person's kind of setting the situation on fire. Things are a little off. I feel like they're using the relationship as fuel to ignite an argument, but you're doing your best to keep things under control and calm things down. When we go into this, we have the Empress reversed. No, the High Priestess reversed, which kind of has an Empress feel to me for some reason, but... I feel like... when this is upside down for you, I feel like this is a developmental situation. Something, some component of this situation you can look back on, and I feel like you're looking back on it and you're like, due to what you knew at the time, you made a certain decision, but you realize now you didn't know another piece or something. Something like you have new information or information you didn't have before, and you feel like you made a misstep based on misinformation in the past, and now it's causing the current situation where it is now. Like, I feel like you're looking at the situation like, I did my best for what I thought was happening, but now that I see things differently, I realize I shouldn't have done it the way I did, but how was I to know any different? Like, I kind of feel like that's what's going on. And I feel like you're reviewing, kind of auditing the situation. You're trying to calm it down. You don't want this relationship really to break up, or kind of like, I feel like there's a breakup of social relationships or something's moving on. And I feel like based on the information you had in the past, you made a certain decision, and it's just now like not working out. But you know differently now, and whatever you learned since then, you realize, all right, that wasn't the best decision, but at the time, it was the best one I could have made. I feel like that's how it's being viewed. And like you're looking back and you're trying to think of ways like, how could I have known that? Like, what should I have done to find out this other information? Because I feel like you're taking a very diplomatic, responsible approach, and you're just like, all right, I see how I contributed to this. What could I have done differently? Like, I feel like you're kind of looking at it like that. Like, you have a very mature look at it, a very mature standpoint. You're trying to, like... I feel like you're taking this look like you're trying to figure out if this happens again, what should you look out for, and how can you make sure it doesn't happen again the same way it is now? Because whatever the decision you made, I feel like it's causing a lot of problems right now. And it's just based on misinformation. You didn't have certain information at the time, or you thought something was going a certain way, and it just turns out it wasn't happening that way at all. And like it's causing a lot of discord. The other side, like whatever the decision was, whatever you did, like I feel like you did it based on what you were seeing, what you really thought was happening. You made a certain decision. But things are balancing back out. Like whatever the decision was, I feel like it was a misstep, but it's being corrected now. The other side is a little aggressive about it, though. They're kind of like a little angry, and they're trying to... I feel like there's a little bit of an argument going on there. There might be a financial burden or a financial component to this. I feel like they're not viewing it in the same way you are, in the sense of like, I want to say you made a decision thinking it was going to stabilize things going forward, and they're not viewing it that way. They're not looking at it from your perspective, because I feel like if you look at it from your perspective, it makes sense why you did what you did, because you had certain information, you were trying to make sure a situation was going to be okay and it was going to last longer than it looked like it was going to, so you were trying to fix the situation and try to keep it going. But it didn't work out that way, but they're not seeing it the same way you are. They're not seeing how you were trying to make things work out better by doing what you did, but they're not seeing it that way at all. I feel like there's a very aggressive, angry energy going on here. And I feel like they're looking to correct the situation, and they want to make you take the blame for it. And I feel like you're kind of like owning up to the part, like, well, I did this a certain way, but this is why, and you're trying to like explain, like, I was trying to make sure things were going to work out. Like, I wasn't doing it maliciously. I was doing it because based on what I was seeing and hearing and seeing, feeling there, it looked like this was going to have a really bad moment if I didn't do something and put things back in order. So that's why I did what I did. Okay. So the next card is the Two of Pentacles reversed. Which I feel like the decision-making part of this situation is being taken away from you. Now, whatever the social relationship is, I feel like you're trying to fix it. You're trying to do what you can to smooth things over, make things right. You're trying to do what you can, but I feel like the other party's pulling out, or they're removing your ability to make any sort of change. Okay. Like, I'm really kind of convinced with that one, because the next card is the Magician reversed, which, I mean, I feel like there's nothing, like, they're pulling out. I feel like they're pulling out of the situation, because you got the Magician reversed, and then in the social aspect, the Two of Wands reversed, which they don't see, like, how this, they're not seeing any possibilities. There's nothing, like, I feel like nothing, like, it's like the situation is stopping, it's halting. The Magician right side up means you have the ability to make it what you want. The Magician upside down, like, I feel like the situation is kind of coming to a close. And there's, like, you're trying to find a way to fix it, but I feel like you're kind of stuck. Like, the other side isn't even responding. There's a very emotional connection here. Like, they're very much, like, there's a lot of anger here, and I feel like this is kind of what's stopping you. I feel like there's a lot of anger, and they're really not receptive to hearing anything. It's a little messy. I really do feel like it's a little messy. They're not seeing any hope. They just want, I hate to say it, but I feel like they just want you out of the situation. They're ticked right off. Now, the next part is very interesting. I feel like, well, I'm seeing this card. It's the Death card, which means the end of something, the beginning of something new. The interesting thing is, I feel like they're attached to you in some way. They're attached to you, but the situation you're currently involved with them has ended. But they're attached to you in some way. I kind of feel like you might be... I feel like they're, even though they're attached to you, they're thinking this is just going to keep happening. And the way they're viewing the situation, I feel like they're just like... they feel like they're in a pattern with you. And that it's going to happen. I feel like they're reviewing things, and any little thing that they can connect you with that went wrong, they're blaming you for. I feel like on your side, you're trying to detach from that. This is why this is interesting to me. It says express your love, but I'm noticing the people on the card, and I feel like the guy is taking her arm off of him. That's kind of what it feels like. It's kind of like, let me go. And I feel like you're very aware of it. You realize that the other person is not, or the other people are not receptive to what you want to say. And I feel like you're trying, but I know it says express your love, but I'm feeling like it's not really going to your benefit. I just feel like you're making every effort, and I feel like this card is saying you've made every effort, but the situation has completed. I'm trying to find another avenue, but I'm really feeling that's where this is going. If the rest of this hit for you, that's where I'm feeling like it's going. Granted, it is a general read, so hopefully there's a good outcome for you, or maybe this is not a bad outcome in your view. Maybe moving on from the situation releases you from a lot of stress, and it's kind of one of these come see, come saw things. Usually I would know what that meant. I don't know why my brain is vapid right now. I'm going to use more words that I don't usually use. Okay, great. I just want something else to come out of that card. I feel like it's not really that bad, oddly enough, but I do feel like this is like the ending of a situation. I feel like it's kind of uncomfortable, clearly. I feel like it's mostly not being listened to, and then the other side is kind of like very staunch and very like about the whole situation, and you're just kind of like, I did the best I could. I used information based on what I knew at the time, and I had the best of intentions. I didn't see this working out if I didn't make the move I did. Like, I really didn't do this maliciously. I did this to help. It just didn't pan out that way. You might be okay with the ending of the relationship in this sense too, because I feel like to you it's a peaceful resolution. You're kind of like, I feel like at this point you might be viewing it like, you know what, it's always a struggle with this person anyway, and I never seem to do the right thing with them, so maybe it's best this way. I kind of feel like that might be how you're looking at it, kind of like a new dawn, like, you know what, I never seem to do the right thing anyway in this person's eyes, so it is what it is. I do feel like you try, though. You try to make a gesture of some sort, but I just feel like they're looking at it as if this is just a pattern that keeps happening over and over again, and they're just not really receptive. I do, like, every time I look at this card, I feel like this guy up here is trying to take this hand off of him. Like, he's trying to, like, remove her, which... excuse me. And I feel like this situation is going in circles. Like, I feel like you're making effort, but it's just like nothing's coming to fruition from it. Everything seems very gray and very lackluster. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to... I'm noticing the background more than the color of the people, because the color of the people is very bright, but the background seems to be standing out. Like, things have just moved on. It's like an old photograph to me. Like, it's a past the situation's moved into the past. And I almost feel like you're looking at the situation that way. Like, there's been times in the past where things have been really good. Can't we just, like, remember that and realize that this is not that big of a deal? But the other side's like, this just keeps happening. I'm done. Okay. All right. Well, that's the end of the read there. I guess I kept trying to get something else out of it, but it doesn't seem to be happening that way. Hopefully this helps. It is a general read. Of course, if you would like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.